What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another top 10 video. I've made so many top 10 videos, I might as well just make a playlist. Hint, hint. It's probably what I'm going to do after this video. Anyway, welcome to another top 10. Today we're going to be doing the top 10 favorite female superheroes. So obviously this is my personal top 10 favorite female superheroes list. Let me know what your guys' is in the comments below. But I do have a request or a like exception. You can't pick the girl because she's hot. You gotta pick the character because you like their story arc and you like, them as a character rather than as, just because they look hot type of thing. You can't do that. That's cheating. So, and that's basically my whole list. It's not the hottest girl. It's not the hottest superhero. It's the best female superhero characters on here. Now, obviously, this list is probably can vary and can change. So don't take this fully straight up here, this is my top 10 type of thing. Obviously, this list could change over time, maybe, but this is just a list I put together, I think a good month ago, and I never did the video because, it's just one of those videos where it's hard to actually sit here and figure this out and it actually took me a while to actually finish the list for this video because again, you got characters that are female, and majority of them don't have really a good story arc. Majority of them don't really have a good, example or shining example of anything because, all you're really focused on is just them, oh, they're hot or whatever. That's mostly how we look at the female superheroes. I mean, let's just be honest. As guys, that's what we kind of do. So this was interesting to make. This was a very interesting video to make because it's me looking at them as a character rather than, looking at them, oh, just because they're hot type of thing. Obviously, I probably do have a list of top 10 hot female superheroes, but this is not what that's about. So let me know what your guys' favorite female superheroes are in the comments, and let's get into this. So my number 10, Storm. Now, the reason why I picked Storm is because I've always liked Storm, not just because that she looks attractive, but also because she, she's one of the big, X-Men, right? And she always has had this, this relationship with humans and mutants, and she's always been more of a pro-mutant. She prefers to be a mutant. She likes being a mutant. She doesn't like being, and X-Men's always kind of done the whole race thing, and you're different, so we look at you differently type of thing. Where, the X-Men has always kind of juggled with those types of stories, and it's just sad to see that, because of today's culture, that they kind of ruined X-Men and how they're not, so strong of a comic book franchise like it used to be back then. And they had a lot of great stories back then about those type of topics and stuff like that. But anyway, back to Storm. She likes mutants more. She sometimes has had many bad relationships with humans because of her past and all that, and how they don't like how different she is. She can control the weather, for crying out loud. That's pretty freaky. But it's always one of those great stories with her because she is dangerous, but it's one of those things where it's can you kind of set that aside and still like her, even though she can electrocute your ass or whirl you into a whirlwind or anything with the weather. So again, it's always one of those characters. I always liked their conflicts and their little story arcs. So that's why I put Storm at my number 10. moving on to my number 9 is Supergirl. Now, Supergirl has always been looked at to me as the young kind of cousin, even though she's the older cousin of Clark. She's the older cousin of Clark. She got derailed, and she didn't get to help raise Clark on Earth. So she shows up what is it, like 15, 20 years? I think it's like 20, 30 years later. 20, 25, 30, it changes sometimes. She finally shows up on Earth, and Clark's like an adult when she shows up. So, she wants to be that bigger cousin to him, but yet now he's kind of older and more mature, and he knows how to kind of deal with it. So I guess it's just her, and now, Clark's got to show her the ropes and show her how to use her powers and show her how to, deal with all that. So I like Supergirl because, she has to be the big cousin, but yet she is almost looked at as the little cousin because Clark's all older now. So, but, Supergirl, again, has the same powers and abilities as Superman, so not too much to really say about this character. Moving on to my number 8 is Starfire. Oh, man. Excuse me, I gotta use the bathroom. Whew. Okay, now that we got that out of my system. Starfire. What do I like about Starfire besides the fact that she is insanely attractive? I'm talking like number 1 on the list of top 10 hottest superheroes, female superheroes, okay? Besides that, I've always liked her bubbly personality, her very positive attitude about things and her friends, and she's that character who is that positive character that you want to be around because she's very positive and very happy all the time. That's her character, and that's what I love about her character so much. And I obviously like the relationship between her and Robin. Obviously, there are iterations of when she comes to Earth, and the first time she kisses Robin, and he didn't understand at first, but she uses that to learn languages and stuff. And I thought that was kind of fascinating too. And it's not like done in like a sexual way. It's done in a way where it's like, oh, I understand your language now because it's like speaking your tongue. It's like I guess it's like this thing with her tongue or something where she can transfers language or something. That's always been kind of a weird science thing I guess you could play around with. I don't know exactly how it works, or I never really studied on it too much, but I just know that when she kisses people, from aliens, Earth, whatever, that she learns the language. So that's neat, that's cool, but I mostly like Starfire for her personality, and that's the best thing about her. I love that about her. She's the type of character you want to be around all the time. And she's a great member of the Teen Titans. And she is one of the most standout characters of the Teen Titans because of her personality alone. Besides her powers of being able to fly and shoot bursts of energy out of her hands, like that's like the number one thing that is the best thing about Starfire is her personality. All right, so moving on to my number 7 is Raven. Raven. Control yourself, Mike. All right. Besides the fact that them legs are crazy in Teen Titans Go. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay. All right. Okay, Raven. One of the things I love about Raven is I've always loved her arc with the fact that she's she has a demon for a father, and her mother just tries her best to protect her. And Raven always has to not show emotion, because if she shows emotion, then she's gonna unleash a demon inside of her, and that sucks. It's one of those characters you kind of look at and think, man, that's sad, that sucks. And that's why I've always liked stories with like Beast Boy, for example, how she's able to make her laugh and make her happy, and like kind of get her out of this very depressing, very emotionless feeling that she has to put on herself in order to control something inside of her, and control an evil inside of her. And that is sad. That sucks. And that's something that I really love about her character, and I kind of feel pity for, because it sucks. You can't have emotions, you can't show emotion, you can't do none of that, and that's the saddest thing about her character. And it is cool that she knows the spell. She knows spells and stuff. She knows how to cast spells. She can kind of fly and stuff. But most people like her for her personality. She's got this little bit of that sarcastic personality sometimes, like in the Teen Titans show, or I believe sometimes in the comics and stuff, in the movies and stuff like that. But I really, again, one of those characters, again, I like her for majority of her personality. Now, excuse me, I gotta go to the bathroom again. Oh, these females are too attractive. Whew. Oh, man. Okay, so moving on to our number 6. I'm not even halfway through yet. And I can barely contain myself. Okay, number 6 is Spider-Woman. Oh man, is that skin tight or... Okay, turn the pheromones off, Spider-Woman. Stop it. You're not going to be the third. Okay, so yes, leading into that joke, we're also going to be talking about Spider-Woman's ability, which is her pheromones. She can't turn this off. This is something that kind of haunts her, actually. It's kind of almost like kind of sucks, because it's she has these pheromones that when people are around her become attracted to. I guess if you look at the science of it, it's kind of more of an extreme pheromone. Think of like an Axe commercial. That's what it's kind of like. That's kind of what it's like with her. Is like you get a whiff of her hair, and then like you're all over her, humping her leg like Wheelie from fucking Transformers 2. Okay, that's the type of Axe commercial I'm talking about here. So leading into that, let's talk about her powers and abilities. Now, one of the things I like about her is she is not like Spider-Man. She is a lot not like Spider-Man, even though she's called Spider-Woman. Yes, she can stick to walls like Spider-Man, but she can fly. Like, she can literally fly. She can shoot like these energy beams out, and she's obviously got the pheromones. And that's pretty cool. I like that she's different than Spider-Man. I remember she even got her own cartoon series back in, what was it? What was it, the early 70s? 80s maybe? She got her own TV show. I've only seen maybe like 4 or 5 episodes. I mean, like, so, that's that. But yeah, I think one of the things, though, that I like the most about her is the fact that she's just different than Spider-Man, honestly. Because it's very easy to just call someone, a different gender of a character. Oh, Superman, Supergirl, exactly the same, but just a woman. Instead they were like, no, we got Spider-Woman here. Let's make her different. Let's make her a little different than Spider-Man. Let's give her some different powers, different abilities. And I feel like that's, again, one of the things that's missing nowadays in comic books is the creativity. If you're going to call yourself a certain name or a certain you know, whatever. You got to have something that's unique about you or different about you. And I think that's one of the things that's missing is the creativity of when characters are being created and made these days. But again, Spider-Woman, I like her majority because I like the fact that she has different abilities than you know, Spider-Man. And the fact that it does suck that she's basically wearing fucking women's acts all the time, and, you know, she can't actually find love without it becoming lust. So that kind of sucks, but other than that, I really do like this character. Moving on to my number 5 is Spider-Girl. Now, Spider-Girl, I got respect for Spider-Girl. I'm not going to run off to the bathroom this time. I really do respect her character. Is the daughter, Mayday Parker, the daughter of Peter Parker's and MJ. Basically the same character. I guess I just put her on this list mostly because I just like that, you know, it's his daughter. That's cool. I think in Renew Your Vows, I think they did this, comic about Spider-Girl, like his daughter, and about how her spider sense, and this was really cool. It's another reason why I put her on this list. Her spider sense is better than Spider-Man's. Like, her spider sense can see into the future, okay? Like she can literally, her spider sense will tingle into the future. Like I'm talking like days later. Like that's how like powerful her spider sense is. That is one of the unique things about her that I really like. They don't do this a lot with like the older, like, you know, adult teenage Spider-Girl, but they do this with like the little younger version of her. And I want them to kind of expand on that, because that's cool, the fact that she can almost see into the future with her spider sense. So that's really cool. Not much else to say about Spider-Girl, unfortunately. Number 4, Batgirl. Batgirl, I like her. I like Batgirl because I like the fact that she's always been kind of the odd one out of the Bat family. Like, she's not in it, really. Like, if you go back and you read the earlier comics, she just kind of starts being Batgirl. I mean, there are iterations where she stumbles into the Batcave, or, you know, she meets Batman, she becomes Batgirl and all that stuff. But I like the iteration of her where she, you know, is just going out as Batgirl, and like later then she meets Batman and she starts doing her thing. She usually just does her own thing, though, which I prefer. But the one thing I liked about Batgirl the most is the fact that she has a weird communication with her dad, with Commissioner Gordon, because when she's Batgirl, because it's like you can't really kind of talk to him because he's gonna recognize your voice, and it's like, so it's kind of like that play of that dynamic where it's like, you know, I can't tell my dad I'm, you know, working for Batman. It's kind of weird. So I like that dynamic. With her character the most, is the fact that she can't tell her dad she's Batgirl, and, you know, she can't, you know, she can't tell him. And that's what I like the most about her character arc, is the conflict with Commissioner Gordon and Batgirl being Batgirl. Because obviously, if he knew, he would not want her to be doing that. So that's always kind of a cool little arc to do in superhero genres. Do that all the time with Spider-Man, I feel like. Moving on to my number 3 is the sweet, hot Southern Belle, Rogue. So Rogue, you know Rogue, you touch her, guess what? You're fucking dead. You're dead. Like, you can't. Like, you're gonna die, alright? Like, you better keep, like, a flagpole distance from her because you're gonna die. You touch her with your skin. Like, it's that simple. Skin on skin contact, you dead. And that's honestly what defines her character, besides the fact that she can take other mutants and other people's powers and abilities and attributes, I guess you could say. Like, she can take Wolverine's healing factor. She can take Iceman's powers. She can take anybody's powers that she wants by simply touching them. That's the whole thing with her. I always thought that was a cheap power, but yet it's kind of a cool power. In the comics and in the early shows, she can fly. Now, I mean, but which is kind of weird because I thought a mutant was supposed to only have one ability, which is to, like, either, you know, like for example, Wolverine. Like, people sometimes misunderstand the fact that Wolverine, his mutant ability is to heal rapidly. That's his ability. Not his claws, to heal. The extra bone claws are just kind of what happened, right? So, but she can fly and she can take people's powers. That didn't really kind of make sense too much. So I do like the fact they kind of toned it down a bit, and it's like, oh, she can only now take powers. Because her flying didn't really make sense. Like, it's like she had 2 powers there, which I guess it's fine. I mean, sometimes some of them have like 2 powers, but usually a mutant only has like 1 power, 1 ability. So that's my little thing with Rogue. But besides the fact that she can take your powers, I always liked her arc, because her story, because it sucks for her. She can't be in a relationship with people, because if she and I'm noticing that a lot with a lot of these characters I put on this list, they have a lot of problems trying to connect with people because of their powers or abilities or something. With Rogue, it's that she can't touch you. She can't touch anybody with her skin, or you're going to get your life drained out of you if she holds on long enough. And that's kind of scary. And that sucks because, you know, again, it's like she doesn't want to, but, you know, again, she can't control it. And that really sucks. And that's probably one of the best things about her character, and the saddest, is the fact that she can't be in a relationship with people, because if she does, then she wants to, but she can't, and that's sad. It's a sad story. So moving on to my number 2 is She-Hulk. Now, I love She-Hulk. I really do. Besides the fact that, you know, she's basically a hotter version of Hulk. She, you know, is a lawyer. I kind of like that she's a lawyer. But she's always been kind of this... Before Deadpool, She-Hulk was like one of the very first characters to be fourth wall breaking. Like, she would be the person who would be like fourth wall breaking. And I think one of the best things about She-Hulk is she has fun being Hulk. Like, she can have fun being She-Hulk. And I always thought it was kind of weird how she's in control. Like when she gets angry, she's in control, right? But she's just more aggressive and all that. And she's green and she's muscled up and all that. But I like She-Hulk because she knows how to have fun. Like she's one of those characters where you can kind of go to a bar with and like just have fun. You know, you don't got to worry about her judging you or anything. You know, I mean, her skin turns green, for crying out loud. So it's like, what happens type of thing. But you know, she's one of those characters who can have fun, and besides the fact that she's like a female version of Hulk, she's in control and she knows how to, you know, Hulk out when she needs to. So I do like Jenny. I like her a lot. That's her name, by the way. My number 1 pick, and this one is a bit of a strange one, but I just thought about it because it just, you know, is one of my favorite series. And that would be Jen Scott's from Time Force Power Rangers, the Pink Ranger. I like her story arc because I like the fact that she loses, like, her future husband, and then she goes back in time and she meets this guy who has the DNA to be the Red Ranger, and he reminds her of her ex-fiance that got blown up. And, you know, from beginning, middle, and end, that love interest story arc was so good because, you know, it's like they build a relationship together. They really do. But one's from the future, one's from the past. So again, it's like it's a relationship that can't work because of the timelines and all that. So again, it's I guess another one of my favorite things about her character is just not just the fact that she, you know, has to step up to the plate and be a leader because, you know, I think Red Ranger does eventually step it up. But before that, Red Ranger is usually the leader. So Pink Ranger has to step it up, and she's pissed off because her ex-fiance is dead. And she meets this guy who reminds her of her ex-fiance. So again, it's just a big crazy story. Probably one of the best Power Rangers story arcs, one of the best Power Ranger series, I would say. Maybe put that at like the number 2 or like number 3 or 1, kinda, because again, it's really a good, the whole thing actually, the whole Power Ranger Time Force series, beginning, middle, and end, just a good series. So that's it. That's my list. Let me know you guys. Let me know what your list is in the comments. Again, I pick this solely out of the character. So yeah, I could do, oh, look at those waifus, but no, I looked at this strictly as characters, right? I looked at this as characters, which is very hard to do. Like, it was actually very hard for me to put this together. Like after a month I wrote this, I came back to it like literally like a couple minutes ago, and I looked at it and I said to myself, what is this? Because my brain is sitting there telling me, these aren't the hottest female superheroes. And again, it's like the idea that you kind of play with your head. I don't care which gender you are. It's the same for girls too. When they look at a guy, the superhero guys, when they're like, oh man, look at his muscles, look at his abs. With guys, it's the same thing. It's like when you look at a certain female character, it's like, you know, your brain's going that way. So that was the trick with this video. I'm very proud of it, actually, because I'm glad I was able to look at them as characters. I mean, there are other characters that are characters in like Marvel or DC or whatever, but it was nice. It was nice to do a video like this. It was nice to kind of get out of the normal way of looking at females. Not really, though. Okay, well, that's it, guys. That's my list. Let me know what your list is, or your 5, 3, whatever, in the comments below. And I'm out of here. Up and away. See you guys. Watch